Stop scrolling, stop breathing, and stop pretending you're minding your business. Because Atlanta has just erupted with a scandal so messy, so chaotic, and so painfully on brand that even the love and hip-hop editors are somewhere whispering, "Oh Lord, not again." Yes, it's true. Rasheeda has finally filed for divorce from Kirk Frost, and social media is treating it like the Super Bowl, the Bet Awards, and Judgment Day all collided into one explosive event. But here's the real question. How many chances does one man get before the universe steps in and says, "All right, that's enough foolishness"? Because this isn't just a breakup. This isn't just a separation. This is a full-blown Category 5 marital meltdown, complete with whispers, leaked screenshots, suspects, side eyes, mystery pregnancies, and betrayal so deep it could qualify for Olympic diving. Instagram aunties are praying. Twitter detectives are zooming in on photos like they work for CSI Atlanta. Even TikTok tarot readers are flipping cards saying, "Oop, I saw this coming months ago." So buckle up, grab your popcorn, and maybe secure your wig. Because the truth behind Rasheeda's divorce filing isn't just shocking, it's explosive. And we're about to dive head first into every scandalous detail. Rasheeda's decision to finally file for divorce didn't appear out of thin air. It was the result of years of tension piling up like unpaid bills no one wanted to acknowledge. From the outside, their marriage looked like a roller coaster people kept lining up for. Even though everyone knew the ride was held together with duct tape, prayer, and Rasheeda's patience. But behind the scenes, there were patterns, whispers, footage, and a long history of situations that kept circling back like a bad remix. For years, she tried to hold everything together, defending a man who seemed determined to prove the universe right every time someone predicted he would mess up again. Then came the latest wave of drama, the kind that made even longtime fans say, "This time something feels different." According to people close to the situation, things began unraveling when Rasheeda noticed a strange shift in Kirk's behavior. The same shift that shows up right before a scandal explodes. Late-night calls suddenly became more frequent. Random errands kept popping up. His phone stayed glued to his hand like it was on life support. And every time she asked a simple question, his answers sounded like badly rehearsed lines from a script he forgot to memorize. At first, she tried to brush it off, convincing herself it might be stress or work or family issues. But the feeling in her gut would not go away. It stayed there, tightening day by day until she could no longer ignore it. Then came the discovery that changed everything. Sources claim she stumbled across a string of financial inconsistencies that made no sense. Money was disappearing in odd amounts at odd hours from accounts that were supposed to be secure. Transactions were linked to locations no one could justify. When she confronted him lightly, he brushed it off with the usual business excuse, but something about his tone felt wrong. That was the moment she decided to investigate on her own, quietly, strategically, without revealing that she already suspected the truth. She reached out to people Kirk never imagined she would contact, people who had seen things, heard things, held on to things as the information came in. The picture grew clearer and uglier. Every detail confirmed what her intuition had been screaming for weeks. The betrayal wasn't simple or accidental. It was layered, calculated, and disrespectful in ways that cut deeper than anything she had forgiven before. And then came the final blow. The details so shocking it shifted her entire reality in one moment. The evidence in front of her was undeniable, and for the first time, she felt something inside her break. Not with anger, but with clarity. This was it. There were no excuses left to accept, no lies left to decode, and no energy to waste on a man who had taken her loyalty for granted for far too long. Without a word, she made her decision. And everything that followed was set into motion with a calmness even she didn't expect. Part 2 picked up exactly where the chaos tightened around her like a storm refusing to ease. Because once she uncovered the financial trail, nothing could prepare her for the flood of information that followed. As she dug deeper, sources claim she gained access to conversations, screenshots, and private exchanges that painted an even uglier picture. Anonymous insiders. Kay began reaching out with hints and warnings describing late-night meetings, questionable companions, and whispers of secret arrangements happening behind closed doors. One source claimed Kirk was spotted in places that didn't match the stories he told at home. Another said he had started using alternate phones, borrowed accounts, and encrypted chats, as if he were running a covert operation instead of managing his marriage. The moment pieces of the story leaked online, social media erupted into a frenzy of speculation. People started posting alleged sightings, blurry photos, and dramatic timeline breakdowns like amateur detectives convinced they had cracked the case of the year. Comments poured in, calling the behavior reckless and insensitive, while others simply asked how long Rasheeda was expected to tolerate this pattern. As the scandal grew, even unrelated influencers suddenly had opinions, adding fuel to a fire already burning out of control. Meanwhile, Rasheeda gathered information quietly, watching interviews, reading anonymous messages, and reviewing each detail with a calmness that frightened everyone around her. Reports claimed multiple people came forward stating they had seen Kirk accompanied by a woman whose identity was kept hidden behind blurred photos. Someone else claimed they overheard heated arguments in places. Kirk frequented arguments suggesting complications far deeper than anyone realized. Some even insisted money was exchanged in hotel lobbies, lounges, and private rooms for reasons no one could confirm. Allegations of lavish spending surfaced, showing unexplained receipts for dinners, shopping trips, and getaways that never appeared on any public timeline. An anonymous voice note spread online describing what sounded like a confrontation filled with raised voices and accusations of lies, betrayal, and broken promises. Even though the authenticity could not be confirmed, the public believed it, because the narrative fit too perfectly with everything unfolding. And through all of this, Rasheeda stayed silent. Her silence wasn't weakness, it was strategy. She watched every rumor, every clue, every unexpected revelation, slowly combining into the truth she could no longer ignore. By the time she put all the evidence together, the situation had become too big to contain, and the consequences were already on their way by the time the truth settled in front of her. The fallout had begun unfolding in ways no one could stop. Legal advisors who once handled only business matters were now being contacted for personal protection. Document reviews and filings hinting at something. Irreversible. Rumors spread that Rasheeda had begun meeting quietly with crisis management, experts, and privacy professionals, the kind people call when a public figure is preparing for a major shift. She was advised to secure her assets, review joint contracts, and prepare for a separation requiring extreme caution. Meanwhile, Kirk felt the pressure closing in as whispers of investigations and inquiries reached his circle. Money trails were being examined not only by curious fans, but also by people with the authority to dig deeper. Unexplained withdrawals and hidden expenses raised eyebrows among individuals connected to their business ventures. Some insiders whispered about potential audits. Others mentioned halted projects or damaged partnerships. Public backlash intensified as clips, rumors, and alleged leaks continued circulating. Fans who once supported the couple now stood firmly with Rasheeda, urging her to protect herself and demanding consequences for anyone who contributed to her pain. Businesses associated with the couple began feeling the pressure as social media debates spilled into real-life perception. Supporters posted messages praising Rasheeda's strength, while critics expressed disbelief at the repeated cycle of scandals. The public no longer saw this as entertainment. This was now a turning point. Through everything, Rasheeda remained composed, calm, focused. She understood the magnitude of the choices in front of her, and she knew that once she stepped forward, there would be no going back. With evidence gathered, advisors consulted, and her emotions finally settled into determination. She made the decision to end the chapter that had drained her for too long. She filed the documents and chose to remove herself from the chaos that had overshadowed her life. When news of the filing broke, the reaction was immediate. Some people expressed shock, others relief, but the dominant emotion across social media was support. Many believed she had finally taken the first step toward reclaiming her peace and rebuilding her life without the weight of repeated betrayal. As the dust continued to rise around the breakup, the world watched closely, waiting to see what new developments might surface and what final consequences Kirk might face as the truth continued to spread through every corner of their shared history. As this story continues to unfold, one thing is clear. You've only heard the beginning of a much bigger unraveling, and the rest of the truth is still making its way to the surface. What happens next? Who speaks out? Who goes silent? And what new evidence drops is anyone's guess. But it will shake the entire timeline again. So, before you go, let me ask you this. Do you think this divorce will finally give Rasheeda the peace she deserves? Or is there another twist waiting around the corner, ready to pull everyone back into the chaos? And what do you think Kirk's next move will be now that the world is watching every step he takes? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't hold back. If you want every update the moment it breaks, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for BuzzVault so you never miss the next truth that drops.